Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is ALYA BINTI Helmi, metric number 147521, and I am from group 9. So today I'm going to share with you guys why sex education is important for teenagers. Have you ever imagined what will happen to our future generation if we still stick to our existing stigma, which keep thinking that sex is a private concern? And why do we have so many people out there who are still embarrassed to open their mind and discuss about this issue? And can you even imagine how many adolescent pregnancies that we have to face in the future as a consequence of this stigma? So I believe that sex education is not something that we can take slightly, because being teenagers who are eager to explore every single thing can be a bit worrying if we don't educate them earlier, especially when it comes to sex things. Because with the prominent access to any porn websites or videos on the internet, this actually can increase the tendency for them to misinterpret anything that they have watched there, which this actually can lead to any sexual misadventures in the future. So we can't let this to happen continuously, and the earlier we begin to start to educate them, the better it is for their life journey. And teenagers should be exposed with sex education in order to equip them with the correct knowledge from the right sources to prevent them from the sexual problems, and also to prevent them from any risk of STDs and also unplanned pregnancies. First and foremost, as technology is evolving day by day, we can see that each of us are now able to access everything through the internet without any hesitation. Same goes to such things. There are so many accessible channels for teenagers or even anyone to go through, especially on social medias and also Netflix. In Netflix, teenagers are allowed to watch any movie without acknowledging the age restriction and so on. This thing actually can bring them to a stage where they can watch and interpret the things that they have watched only based on their understanding, which is might be wrong, right? So they should be educated by the correct people, and I believe that parents are the people who should play their roles in this issue, because parents are able to act as the right sources to educate them about anatomy, especially on their knowledge about puberty, reproduction, what else, a healthy relationship, and so on. So instead of getting those information from any online websites or even from friend, which is we can make sure it's validity, right? So parents should start to talk about sex, about safe sex with the children, and I believe that this is a natural part of life, and it shouldn't be an embarrassed topic to be discussed. We can't let the teenagers to find another alternative sources which may be wrong and rely on it instead of their parents who can advise and educate them personally, right? Because this is why I believe that sex education is important for teenagers to make sure that they can get the right information from the right source. Next, teenagers should be exposed with sex education in order to prevent them from any sexual problems in the future. Because as we know, living in this era where crime and um, problems can occur anytime and anywhere, we actually have to prepare them with the right knowledge about sexual abuse and also sexual violence. Because knowing that consent is the main key in this part, we should be taught to them. Teenagers uh, should be aware that they have their own right, to voice out their concern, especially in the decision on who can touch them. Because people used to ignore the meaning, the exact meaning of consent, and more likely to overstep their boundaries. And in this case, parents and teachers must play their roles to educate them, to understand the limitation of interaction among themselves, especially if they are having any kind of relationship. And I believe that they shouldn't let other people, to touch, hug, or even kiss them easily, or to do any unwanted physical interaction towards them, because this might lead to sexual abuse. And on top of this issue can even occur in different way, which is involving non-physical sexual behavior. And if you can see that posting and sharing any sexual photos or videos without the consent of the owner can be harmful and considered as the sexual violence as well. Because believe it or not, sex education is very important to make sure that the teenagers are able to understand their rights related to sexual abuse or violence. Moving on to the next point, sexually transmitted diseases, or we used to call it as STDs, are the infection which are passed from one individual to another individual through any sexual interaction or even intimate contacts. And this problem is a very serious matter that should be prioritized and also should be treated immediately, because the consequences might getting worse if we didn't take any action. And apart from that, teenagers should understand the reproduction knowledge and the consistent use of protection, which this actually can prevent them from the unwanted pregnancies. Can you imagine, like between 2017 to 2022, around 41,083 teen pregnancies were recorded, and 35% of that were out of wedlock. This is a very worrying number of cases, and we can't let this to happen continuously, because the health risks and the complication that the mothers and the babies have to face in the future are very dangerous. And in fact, the unwanted pregnancies not only can affect the afterbirth situation, but it also can affect the true maternal journey. And we shouldn't let the young females out there to waste their youth just because of this problem. And we need to start to educate them right now, because sex education is the key to prevent them from involving in any STDs. And they should understand properly their sort of relationship, and also their social boundaries, their preferred type of protection that they should use if they are having any sexual contacts with their partners. And I strongly believe that by exposing sex education to teenagers, the risk of STDs and also unplanned pregnancies may be prevented eventually. So, in conclusion, sex education is a crucial topic that should accept full of attention from everyone in order to control any social issues, and also to prep the teenagers with sufficient knowledge in order to make sure that they can live safely in the future. And apart from that, I believe that we should empower teachers and also parents with the competent skills, and of course more knowledge regarding the safe sex and also their well-being. Overall, I think that sex education is a gradual journey which can affect the future of the teenagers. So that's all for me. Thank you so much.